One of the themes for 2021, I think, is going to be the continued strength of cryptocurrency awareness and news coverage, also the rise of the value of Bitcoin. It's time to take a look at some SPACs that could be targeting cryptocurrency names, including Coinbase, obviously, is the big name thrown out. So here are just kind of my thoughts after diving into those management teams and target areas who I think could be ones to watch in that area. Up first, GSAH, so the Goldman Sachs SPAC. They raised $700 million. It was one of our picks for SPACs under $11 back in December. They've been linked to eToro, thanks to the fact that eToro has talked to Goldman Sachs about a potential IPO. New reports out say that Goldman Sachs is planning on entering the cryptocurrency market soon. You add these items together, and this SPAC is going to be linked to the sector. Shares are now $11.65. I am long shares of GSAH here. I think this could be one, that lands a large name given that amount, but I think they could really be looking in that fintech and cryptocurrency space given Goldman Sachs' current interest in eToro and also cryptocurrency. So that is one I am in and watching going forward. Then up next we have BTAQ. So this was one of my favorite SPACs under $11 at the start of the year, targeting tech or enterprise software, led by the former CEO of Hewlett-Packard and SAP. The company listed Israel as, an area in their filing. They have connections there, which I think could mean that eToro is a possibility. I am long shares of BTAQ. I like the thought eToro here. Otherwise, there are still lots of great Israeli tech companies that could go this route, but I think they could be a possibility for a crypto name here. Next up, we have LFTR. This was another top 10 SPACs under $11 pick. Company is targeting fintech. So the management includes connections to E-Trade and TD Ameritrade. So they raised $200 million. Chairman Mark Cassidy is the founder of FinTech Vertigo Ventures. CEO Carl Rossner is the former CEO of E-Trade. The big name to watch here is Asif Hirji, who's the former chief operating officer of Coinbase. So he's actually on the board of the SPAC. He was at Coinbase from December 2017 to June 2019. He also worked at TD Ameritrade. He joined a blockchain startup called Figure as the president in January 2020. So here you have a company with lots of experience, with that brokerage, with E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, and then also an executive who worked for Coinbase. Lots of connections there that point me to believe, Coinbase could be a target, or they could be going after a cryptocurrency exchange or something along that field. So LFTR is definitely one that I am keeping an eye on there. Another one to mention, although smaller connection here, is MOTV. So raised $350 million, led by Blythe Masters, an industry partner at MOTV Capital. Was the former CEO of a blockchain fintech called Digital Asset, is targeting fintech. So again, anytime some of these names have connections to blockchain, there's usually positive sentiment towards cryptocurrency, which, I think means that they could target that area, and definitely ones that I want to keep on watch. And as Mitch pulls up that chart there, I see some nice volume over the last couple days and some nice strong moves. So it looks like maybe this one getting more interest. So this will definitely be one that I am watching here. And then we have LEAP, so LEAP. The Ribbit Capital SPAC was recently in the news and up big on a wall action, a new fintech platform from parent company Ribbit Capital. So there was some confusion with this. Again, Walmart partnered with LEAP or with Ribbit. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will be connected to the Ribbit Capital SPAC going forward. This SPAC is led by two current Ribbit Capital executives, raised $350 million, and Ribbit is an investor in Coinbase and Robinhood. Company is targeting fintech. So again, an investor in Coinbase. Anytime you hear that, obviously there's awareness of Coinbase and also possibly some interest in going public. So that's one to watch too. And then we have FDAC. So this SPAC is led by former New York Stock Exchange president Tom Farley. So targeting fintech, raised $550 million. This is one kind of under the radar, but I definitely want to throw out there on your watch list. So in 2015, the New York Stock Exchange invested $75 million in Coinbase. Coinbase, which was the largest investment ever made in a Bitcoin company at the time. Farley led the way and called Bitcoin a growth market. The New York Stock Exchange created a Bitcoin index in 2015. So again, you look back to 2015, there wasn't a lot of positive sentiment around Bitcoin and crypto from these major finance companies or exchanges. And here you had the New York Stock Exchange investing $75 million in Coinbase and really going after that market. And that was led by their president, Tom Farley, who now has this fintech SPAC. I like the dots being connected there. This is definitely one that I'm watching. I just recently, found some of this news, and I will definitely be watching that going forward. And then a couple of SPACs that have already announced crypto deals. So we have VIH. So this SPAC announced a deal valuing cryptocurrency exchange back at $2.1 billion. The company owns a cryptocurrency exchange and launched the first regulated Bitcoin futures exchange. Also the first fully regulated options contract for Bitcoin. Shareholders of the SPAC are going to own 8%. Intercontinental Exchange, which is symbol ICE, so owns the New York Stock Exchange, will own 65% after that deal is complete. And I do want to do some more research here, but it looks like Kathy has been buying shares of ICE in some of her ETFs, and she has also highlighted in several newsletters some of the funding rounds and news about Bakkt. So it looks like she has some history there. Again, pure speculation here, but I would not be surprised, if she wants exposure to crypto, to those ARK ETFs. So I will be keeping an eye on that one. And then a former SPAC, EQOS, which is now Diginex. This SPAC actually was under $10 in December post deal here. It started climbing on its ties to Bitcoin. So they offer a cryptocurrency exchange and OTC trading operations. They were the first full digital asset ecosystem comprising a crypto exchange to be listed on the NASDAQ. They're now launching their first derivative product with a Bitcoin futures contract this month. And then they have Ethereum coming next. So right now they are in the Asian and European markets, but they have a long-term goal of the US market, and they think that's possible with their high level of transparency and government due to having to go under those things to be on the NASDAQ, which to me, I think that, that is true, and the high difficulty of being on a major exchange, that they will eventually be US based as well. So this is definitely one that I am watching going forward. This was, one of the biggest SPAC deals in crypto to be done. And again, traded under $10 for quite a while, but now, starting to get that connection to Bitcoin. And as we've seen, all Bitcoin related stocks start to trade up kind of on the price and the news of Bitcoin. So I know that was a lot, guys, but I think crypto, again, big story in 2021, and SPACs could be part of that story. I think some of these private crypto companies are recognizing the demand for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and exchanges and mining equipment, and they're going to start to target and, maybe reach out to some of these SPACs because they want to go public to see their valuations increase and to that capital would in a traditional IPO. That's what I've got, for those crypto SPACs, Mitch. What do you think?
All right. So one of the things I want to do here is make a correction here. We did mention the wrong ticker here. The ticker is FPAC. For some reason, we had FDAC, so I just want to make sure that we touch that.